Hello, my name is Barry Evans, also known as Sonic 1992, and I'm here at the SEGA Lounge.
Welcome to the Sega Lounge, where we celebrate our love for all things Sega, including the games, the music, and the community. I'm your host, KC. Join me as I talk to different guests and learn more about their projects and passion for Sega. Hello everyone and welcome to the Sega Lounge, episode 227. I hope you're all doing well and excited for the great conversation coming up in a few minutes. But before we get to that, I wanted to acknowledge a project by my good friend James Brown, aka Skill Jim. James has a Kickstarter running for issue 3 of his Shenmue fanzine, Shenmue World. We've covered the first 2 issues in the past, so there's a chance you're familiar with the project. If not, in a nutshell, it's a labor of love by fans of Shenmue and curated by James himself. It's full of Shenmue content, and this third issue includes not just great written content, but a ton of extra freebies. The project has reached its initial goal, but James has teased at a potential exciting extra freebie, so do check out the Kickstarter project and consider pledging. I can personally attest for the quality of the previous 2 issues, so I'm 100% sure this one will be amazing as well. The link will be in the show notes, so check it out and I guess let's get Shenmue World 3. This week, I'm joined on the lounge by Sonic merch collector extraordinaire Barry Evans, aka Sonic 1992. For decades, Barry has been gathering an insane amount of Sonic memorabilia and was rightfully acknowledged by Guinness World Records as having the largest collection of Sonic merch in the world. Find out more about his story and his ever-growing collection in this really fun interview. Hello, Barry. Welcome to the Sega Lounge.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, such a pleasure to have you. Long overdue. I mean, it's like you had to be on the show. We were talking before we started recording, and you really had to be on the show because you have an awesome story to tell, and you're a big Sonic fan. So I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun today. But let's start from the very beginning, Barry, as we usually do here on the Sega Lounge. How did you get into video games? Tell us, please.
Well, to get how I got into video games is very simple. I mean, I'm a kid of the 70s and the 80s, and when I got to go to my local skating rink in 1979, I saw a bunch of kids crowded around this thing in the corner when not skating, so I had to go and figure out what they were doing. And when I got up there, I saw this machine, and it said on the top of it, asteroids. And when I got a view of the screen, I saw someone actually controlling a spaceship shooting asteroids going doo doo doo, boom, boom. I was instantly hooked. I scratched all through my pockets trying to find some money, and that's where it began.
Okay, awesome. That's awesome. So was that like, looking back now, in hindsight, was that a life-altering moment?
Yes, it was. And what kids today will never understand is because they've all grown up with definition this and incredible graphics that. But when I saw asteroids, there was nothing like it before. It was the first thing, it was brand new, and it just, when you saw it, it was just amazing. I mean, you didn't see the television screen. You saw the asteroids floating behind the glass along with the ship chasing after him, shooting him, and the UFOs. There was nothing like it before, and it was just amazing. It's just indescribable how amazing it was, and I was hooked from right then.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how newer graphics, like HD graphics, like high quality stuff these days, visuals. they're not as important as like a good concept and a great gameplay, right? Do you agree with that?
Exactly. They're all visual and no gameplay. I mean, and some of the games are even they like I swear. I mean, you could actually some of the games you could actually just set the controller down and the game plays itself.
That's true.
um, but yes, I mean, not to knock it. I mean, some games today are good. It's
Yeah.
just I guess they don't have the appeal and replayability as they did back then.
Mhm. Yeah.
That
It's
they have the novelty.
yeah, it's not that they're bad, but it's like they're sometimes developers put too much emphasis on the visuals, and it's an amazingly beautiful game, but as a game, as something to have fun with, sometimes the fun factor is not really there, or at least not to the extent that in retro games, if you want to call them that, right?
Yes, and not even to mention the fact that most of the games are broken, but due to DLC and microtransactions. That could be a whole nother show.
Exactly. Awesome. And so asteroids was the first thing that like made you think about, okay, so I'm gonna be a video gamer, right?
Yes, I mean Space Invaders technically came before it, but it just didn't attract me to like asteroids because you were controlling a spaceship flying around the screen. Um, so I mean, yeah, that was it. I mean, it just play me. That's all I saw. And every time after that, I would start going to my little local convenience store and place like that, and there'd be a game, and it would be there for a few months, and then there was another new one. It was like, wow, I can't wait. And you know what was really bad? Our arcade the people who supplied our machines, they knew what they were doing. I remember going into our little convenience store near our house, and it was 1981. I saw Galaga when it was new, and what do you know? It had like 5 credits in it, so it was like they gave you a taste of it, and then boom, you started coming back and plugging quarters into it.
Okay. Yeah, that's good business, a good business strategy there. Yeah, nice.
It worked, trust me, because I went to school hungry for years because I spent all my lunch money in the arcade.
The struggle was real.
Yeah, and then my mom and dad found out and got the belt after my butt.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Awesome. But you're and people who are watching any kind of video version of this, like video clips or whatever, can see behind you that asteroids is not exactly the thing that you're most known for, right? So you're not. Maybe you're still an asteroids fan. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, yes. They had to start somewhere, but yes, you can see my buddy right there behind me with his other buddy Tails. That's my big, I've been my big infatuation, you can say.
Awesome. So, how did you get into the Sonic the Hedgehog, and why did you get into Sonic the Hedgehog as well?
Oh, it's very simple. Back in 1991, my best friend Manuel Gonzalez, he got a new apartment, and I was helping him move in. And while he was moving in, I didn't know that he bought a Sega Genesis, and he had it. He was starting to set it up, and I helped him set it up, and we turned it on to see what it would look like. And we put in the game Sonic the Hedgehog, flipped it on, and it said first thing it did was Sega. And then we saw the Sonic title screen, and we thought, wow, the music's pretty cool. Well, here we don't have time to play it right now. Just leave it on for a second. We'll keep unpacking. Well, while we were unpacking, we just kept hearing the music of the game, and it was like it just pulled us back over to the TV, and we started playing it. And we played it, and I liked it so much that the next day I went out and bought my own Genesis and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Great, great. I know the feeling actually. You were describing that. I was like, yeah, I get that. Exact same feeling with Sonic 1. Okay. Um, so the music obviously was a big thing. Uh,
Oh, very much a big thing.
was it anything else that, like, looking back, why? Because I'm assuming you played other games. You started with
Oh, sure.
Asteroids. That was the first one that, like, I have to play this. You probably played other games. So why Sonic? Why was it so important and different?
Well, over the years, I had different consoles. I had an Atari, Intellivision, ColecoVision, and they were all equally fun. And I had, of course, moved up to in 1989. I finally was able to get a Nintendo Entertainment System. You know, everybody loves Super Mario Brothers, and here's the thing about up until Sonic, when Sonic came out, everything was mono. Sonic
Yep.
was, I mean, Super Mario was did it did it did it. It was mono sound because I mean I'm also a very very good with electronics, and I always hooked up everybody's stereos and TVs and things like that. To make Mario sound good, you had to buy a splitter that would turn the main audio plug into two, so you can plug it into the left and right speaker, so you can have fake stereo sound. But when you started playing Sonic, it was actually left and right stereo sound, and the music was just incredible coming out of the game. So in the gameplay, Sonic moved very fast with rich, sharp graphics, and it just pulled you in. Each level or each zone in the game was different. You went from the Green Hill Zone to the Marble Zone to the Labyrinth Zone, and they kept getting neater. The music was very great. The graphics were incredible for each zone. So it just pulled you in, and you just loved it to death. And of course, everybody always finished it without getting all the Chaos Emeralds. So you kept going back and playing it again and again.
Hmm.
So you actually got all the Chaos Emeralds and beat the game, and you just fell in love with it.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree. What man, I have nothing else to add to that. Yeah, exactly the way I felt.
So,
Excellent.
to what led up to going towards the collecting is when Sonic the Hedgehog 2 came out. I said, "Oh my God, they're going to make another Sonic game! I
Okay.
cannot wait for this." So I went straight to Toys R Us. They actually had a pre-order program going, and I never heard of that before. It said, "Put $15 down on Sonic the Hedgehog 2, we'll give you a free T-shirt." And I said, "Wow, that's awesome." So I put my money down, got my T-shirt, and was wearing it every day. Couldn't wait, counting down the days to November the 24th of 1992. Went there right after work and picked it up, and history was made. And that game was incredible. I could talk about that game for hours. But what led up to that was after Sonic the Hedgehog 2 came out, they started making stuff. They started making toys and posters and things like that. And the thing that started off the collection was a little bitty Sonic the Hedgehog bubblegum container. And I'll actually get it and show it to you. And again, thanks to my good friend Manuel, he actually brought this over to me and said, look what I found at Ecker
Yeah.
Drugs. And I said, "You're kidding. I want one of those." So I went to the store and bought one and brought it home and put it on my Genesis. And this right here is what started the entire collection.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I've seen talk about this bubblegum container recently. So yeah, yeah. And yours
It still
is
has
in
the gum
perfect
in it.
condition. Yeah, 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 yeah. Awesome. That's amazing. That
So,
looks awesome. So that was the
and when I
first
bought that,
piece in your collection.
yes. And
Okay.
I got that. And then they made a Sonic the Hedgehog poster that came with the game. And I put it on the wall. And then when the more stuff started to appear, I just started filling my room with it.
Mhm.
And it just started growing and growing, and now it grew to what it is today. When we got married, my wife and I said we're going to try and build a house one day and have a place for all of this. And long story short, we built a separate building behind our house to hold all this. And the crazy thing, there's still not enough space.
Because it's still growing, right?
It's still growing, but right now with the way the inflation is, and we actually looked
Hmm.
into adding on again. But right now, with the way the economy is, everything is so everybody raised the price of everything insanely.
Hmm.
So we can't do it right now. It's going to have to wait.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the sensible thing to do right now. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back a little bit. Let's rewind a little bit. So I have two questions. One of them, let's start with that. So you mentioned your wife, and as a fellow married gamer, sometimes it's not easy to, and if you're not married to a person who's a gamer as well, which is my case, my wife doesn't really care that much about video games. She does now a little bit from seeing me loving games so much, but I imagine I would have a very hard time justifying having like a very large collection and building a separate building in my property to house all of that. So you must have a really supportive wife. Is she
She
a
is
fan as well?
my wife Stacy. She supported this ever since she met me. She saw my she saw my bedroom when I was living with my mother. I had two rooms in the house dedicated to that collection, and it was overflowing. You had to walk in there and shimmy around everything and not knock anything over. And she thought it was really neat, and she's been supportive of it the entire time. Um, she is actually when we go to the store, she actually sees the Sonic stuff before I see it, and she's look, there's another one. I mean, if it wasn't for her, none of this would have happened. So I love her very much, and I appreciate that she's there for me and everything. She helped me make the road trip years back to find the original arcade sign. That was from my arcade back in the '80s. I mean, she's been there for all of it. And none of this would have happened without her. So I love her, love you, Stacy, very much, and I appreciate it.
Awesome, awesome. So that's something incredible, and the way that you have all that, like that building set up, that's amazing as well. Um, Going back to Sonic Two, by the way, because that's probably I people would argue that it's not the best classic Sonic because you had Sonic and Sonic Three and Knuckles, and it's arguably a better game. But Sonic 2 is still my favorite to this day as well. And you
Mine too.
clearly, yeah, we share the same favorite game. W what made you so passionate about Sonic 2 specifically, and what makes you still love that game so much?
Well, you know what? This is what most people don't really realize. It's not the game itself. It's all the memories behind it. That's what makes it special. Counting down the days to go pick up the game, playing it with my best friend Manuel. We are both trying to get the Chaos Emeralds together. I mean, we would play Sonic 2 for a couple of hours, and then we'd play Street Fighter 2, and then go back to Sonic. It was all the fun memories behind it. Without the memories, none of this would mean anything.
That's exactly it. Yeah, I still have a lot of fond memories of playing Sonic 2 with friends as well. Right, everyone. I had like a small group of friends that would come over. I had a Mega Drive over here. It's called the Mega Drive with Sonic 2, and we would all like sit around the TV, and we would. Sonic 2 was amazing because you had Tails, right? So you could share the experience. Sonic 1 was awesome, but one was playing, everyone else was just watching, waiting for their turn, perhaps. But with Sonic 2, you could share the experience of playing with another person, right? So that was also
Yeah,
something that added to the whole fun process of it. But yeah, it was really, and it at the time. Now I can play through the game in not so long of a time, but at the time I remember it took hours for us to finish the whole game, like a very epic story. And you went from like a Green Hills like stage, Emerald Hill, to a chemical plant. Then you had like the aquatic ruin. At some point, you went to space, so it was like epic, the
it
adventure,
was
like
epic. Sonic
right.
was holding on to the space, holding on to Robotnik's spaceship, going up to their space station. Yes, I mean everything about it was just they really put the time in on that
Mhm.
game and made it so memorably fun. I mean, it just seems like today those kind of details are not there. I mean, but I mean, I always have to say this. It's my humble opinion, so please don't hate me for it. But it just seems like the feels aren't there with today. I mean, I will support every Sonic game that comes out because I'm glad that they're still coming out. I prefer the classic style Sonic gaming over the modern Sonic gaming. There's always like online feuding about that. People who like modern Sonic can't stand classic Sonic and all that stuff. I like it all, but I prefer the classic style.
Yeah, yeah. Same here. Same here. I think it's also a generational thing a bit, right? Because it's the thing that we grew up with and love versus something
It is
that
that
doesn't really appeal. Having the experience of classic Sonic, uh, going to a more modern version with like less of those things that you were just mentioning doesn't appeal as much. But I'm the same. I support newer games as well. And to be completely fair, the most recent ones have been better. So that's appreciated as well. And so that leads me to the next question. So you mentioned this. So thinking about like 3D Sonic, do you have a game that you enjoy playing more than the others?
Well, I've my honest. I guess it's the classic style of like this generation Sonic Generations and um, Sonic Sonic Superstars a bit,
Hmm.
but that's still classic style Sonic gameplay. Um, the I have to say it again. In my humble opinion, I I went and bought a Dreamcast when it was nearly $400 on release, and I bought Sonic Adventure on release day and paid a lot of money for it. In my humble opinion, when Super Mario went from 2D to 3D with Super Mario 64, I could not play that game enough. I would get home from work, get me a big Coke and a pile of chips and candy, and I'd play that till 1 in the morning and be dead tired the next day for work. I loved Super Mario 64 to death. Super Mario went from 2D to 3D incredibly. When Sonic went from 2D to 3D, I did not like it as much. It was Sonic, I mean Super Mario was a open 3D world. Sonic Adventure was linear. You had to stay on a fixed path and skate rails and just do time trials. I just couldn't get into it, and a lot of people get mad at me for saying that, and I'm sorry. I wish that they would make a Sonic game that would go from 2D to 3D like Super Mario 64 did,
Hmm.
rather than just skate rails and get rings and try and beat the clock. Do more of more of an explorative kind of game like Mario did. I
Yeah.
wish they would do that, but they still haven't
Yeah,
done it.
yeah. I actually I do get where you're coming from. I don't really agree because for me, I'm in the minority here. I think Super Mario 64 is not that great of a game for me. I don't know why. Never really got into it. I play it from time to time, but I never really feel like, oh, this is for me. Um, the following ones, the following Mario 3D games, really great. Love me some Mario Galaxy and stuff like that. But
Oh,
that
sure.
first one, I much prefer Sonic Adventure. But
Well, let me ask you,
the first one,
did you
yeah.
play Super Mario 64 when it came out in
So
1996?
yeah,
Not later?
later played it later. So maybe
Oh,
that's the thing.
that's the
Yeah, that's
key.
probably the
If
thing.
you played it If you didn't play it when it was brand new, then and you played other games before it, then of
Mhm.
course you're gonna have different feelings.
Yeah,
But I mean, I
probably.
remember the best thing ever was when you first went into the water and that dreamy aquatic ambient sound was playing. Now I'm talking, like I said, in 1996 when it was new.
Yeah.
That's what made the difference. If you tried playing it after, like in other words, if you were playing GameCube and you were playing Super Mario Galaxy and then you went back to Mario 64, then of course it's not going to have the same feels.
Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. Yeah. Okay, so some heated discussion here about Mario and Sonic. By the way, quick tip: play Sonic Frontiers if you haven't yet,
I
because
have,
you
I,
have. It's not
and I've
really.
got lost.
It's not perfect, but there's that exploration feeling there, right?
I guess what
Maybe.
my problem is, I didn't know what the heck is going on. I kept collecting the rings, and then there all of a sudden here comes a boss for no reason, and he just kept killing me, and I didn't know what in the world is going on. There's no manuals like there used to
Yeah,
be that
yeah.
kind of give you a heads up of what you're supposed to do. I got frustrated and quit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I would try again after because modern gaming there's patches and everything. So sometimes the games release in a not so finished state. But I would try again now after it got patched and improved. But it can get like can feel overwhelming at times as well. Yeah. But there's more exploration. So that's why I was saying this.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't give up. I buy every game
Mhm.
and I buy a copy of each games for each system to keep for my collection. So I support them no matter what.
Awesome, awesome. And so let's talk about your collection. So you already mentioned how it started. uh, how it is now, right? I wanted to. It's so for people listening in. I'm gonna share because I think this is a more visual episode at times. Because, um, for example, this is from your Instagram page. Um, you have this wonderful Guinness World Record here. Would you care to talk a little bit about this and how it
Well,
happened?
sure. My wife said, we were talking about, I don't know how we started talking about things and the subject of, you know, you have such a giant collection. Do you think there's a world record for it? And because she saw someone that had a world record for their Zelda, Legend of Zelda collection and their
Hmm.
Pokemon collection. And we looked up and nothing existed. So I filled it out. We filled out the paperwork and sent it into Guinness to apply. And they said, there is no record currently. Here is the criteria for you if you wish to pursue this record. So I looked it over and said, oh my God, that's going to be some crazy work. When they sent the criteria back, you have to photograph each item, catalog it, number it, and once you do that, then you have to hire two independent auditors to come in and check off and verify each item that it exists. So I set off on the task. I set up me a computer station with multiple monitors, got my camera set up. It took about 3 weeks of 8 to 10 hour days to catalog and photograph and put in Excel each and every item that's in this room. It was grueling. I mean, there's endless plushies, lapel pins. Each item had to be photographed and cataloged. It was like like pushing a boulder uphill in hell. That's how it was. Very tedious. I mean, it was tedious. I would not do it again. I mean, it
Okay.
was very hard. So after we did that, I had to find someone to audit, and I called people. Some people wanted $200 an hour to do it. It was very crazy. So I finally went down to our local courthouse, and one of the security guards stopped me and said, "What you need?" Because they were about to close. And I said, "Oh, I'm looking for someone that could help me with an audit." And they said, "Go around the corner to this lawyer's office. He's a collector and he loves that kind of stuff."
Okay.
Went around there, went to his office. He had a whole bunch of sports memorabilia on the wall. When I showed him the pictures of my Instagram and all that stuff, he was thrilled. He said, "I would love to do it." And I have one of my relatives would can be the second auditor, and they'll help. And they came over and did it, and they came a day after they had court. They started at 5 o'clock, and we started counting, and went all the way till like 4 in the morning the next day. They were troopers. They pushed all the way through. It had to be. They had to check off each item on a sheet like this.
Yeah.
It's like
Hmm.
an inch, very fine print, and like inch thick.
God.
Had to check off each item. It had to be recorded on nonstop, unedited video.
Oh,
So
so
as
from
yes,
you were recording all the way from 5 p.m. to 4 in the morning?
yes, that was a
Oh my God.
very long video file. I had to chop it up into pieces and compress it and to be able to send it to Guinness World Records.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It had to be videoed for the whole thing. Even if you had stopped to go to the restroom, the camera had to stay going.
Yeah.
So we were pushing. I had a table, pushed it around the room with the computer on it, so they could see the picture of the item, the Excel listing, and then see it in the case. I pointed at each item with a laser pointer, and then, like with the plushies here, I had to dig them all out and show it to them because they're like stacked deep.
Hmm.
By the time it was done, this room looked like a tornado hit it.
Yeah, but in the end, you got it right. How many items at the time?
At the time, it was 3,050. Now that's individual items. The criteria was it had to be officially licensed.
Okay.
Only one item each could count. So I love to get duplicate
Uh huh.
items. If it's a special thing, I've learned a long time ago, you buy one to open and enjoy, and you buy one to keep. So duplicates didn't count. Homemade items didn't count.
Okay.
Art items like from a con or a festival where artists would make custom pictures,
Hmm.
none of that could count.
Okay.
So if I could have counted all that, it would have probably been double the amount.
Yeah. Yeah. God, that's
And the
amazing.
collection has grown. since I got the award, it's grown a lot more.
Hmm.
I usually add about maybe 2 to 3 items per week.
Yeah. And it says here, so if people, obviously the links will be in the show notes, and people can follow you on Instagram. You share all of this, so we're actually looking at one of the pages from the Guinness World Records book of 2024, and it says here Barry Evans has or had amassed 3,050 items relating to Sega's Spiky Speedster as of the 1st of March 2022. Right. So that's over 2 years ago, which means now there's more, right? Much more.
Oh, there's much more. The crazy thing is like I said, when I was communicating to you before the show, I had a whole bunch of stuff sitting on the floor that I recently found, and I was trying to get it all put in, but I couldn't, so I had to tuck it over in the back of the room until, in case you wanted to get a walking tour of the room and see everything. Because what I do is when I put the items in the cases, I take all the doors off and I meticulously place it to where the tallest stuff's in the back, the shortest stuff is in the front to give it a nice look. Because the way it is physically impossible to have enough space to feature each item individually. Some stuff gets slightly obscured or hidden. Otherwise, I'd have to have a room 5 times this length to actually you be able to see each and every item on its own.
Hmm. Awesome. Awesome. So that's a lot of work, right? It's a lot of dedication as well. What
Oh
keeps
yes,
what
sir.
keeps you going, Barry?
The thrill of it, it's
Yeah.
fun. The biggest fun I have is when I invite people over and they think that they're just gonna. I say, you're gonna see my Sonic collection, and they always think they're just gonna come and see a bunch of junk on some old metal shelving or something, in like a storeroom. And when
Hmm.
they come in and they see that it looks like an arcade, everybody's eyes always get as wide as saucers and their jaws drop. And some people have to sit down because it's so overwhelming that you look up, you see stuff, you look down, you see stuff. The black light carpet, it's a sensory overload for a lot of people, and they have to sit down.
Yeah, I get that. Awesome, awesome. So it's not just which part of it do you enjoy the most? Is it like the hunting for new stuff? Is it I you're probably going to say everything, but what gives you the most, like the biggest thrill? Is it to organize everything, to hunt for new stuff? What is it?
Well, I guess to keep from saying everything, I'll put it in order. The biggest thrill is going out with my wife on our days off, and we visit a couple of stores that regularly get new Sonic items, and we see like a new watch on the shelf. Yes, I grab it and say, "All right, a new watch or a new clock or a new shirt." And then the next thrill is coming home and then placing it in the collection, finding a place to I mean, because I'm meticulous. I used to work in a museum. I
Hmm.
worked in a museum for 31 years, so I know about preservation and how to maintain the items and how to present the items. So I meticulously move things around in the cases to make sure it looks good. It doesn't look like it's just stacked up like a garage sale. It looks like it's like there it is on display, all just meticulously placed to make it look just incredible.
Hmm. Awesome,
So
awesome.
that those are the thrills of it. And then when that's all done, then I invite people over to see it and let them look at it and I'll just talk them to death. What do you just ask any questions? And I'll be glad to tell you all about it. And that's the fun of it.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Let's pretend I'm one of those people, because I know there's an interesting story about. I'm sure there's an interesting story behind every single one of these items, but behind you, I can see Sonic and Tails. I know there's an interesting story behind these two, like statues, right? Like these big display statues behind you. Want to tell us a little bit
Let me
about that?
stand.
There you go.
I'll stand aside and what it is Sonic and Tails.
There you go.
There we go. Sonic and Tails, those were statues at our local Toys R Us store. When I went to Toys R Us regularly, of course, during the '90s to look for new Sonic items. And one day I walked in and I saw those two statues, and my jaw dropped. I said, I went directly to the manager and said, "Where did y'all get these statues?" And they said they're official displays from Sega. And I said, "Well, can you give me the contact information? I want to try and get my hands on them." I called the display department for Sega back in, this was like 94. And I tried to buy them from them and they wouldn't sell them to me. I had my credit card ready. I would have done anything. I actually found out that back then they were like about 2 or 3 thousand a piece, but they wouldn't sell them to me. So I asked the manager, I said, if there's any way possible that y'all ever get tired of these displays, I want to get them from you. So I regularly checked in with the manager every couple of months from 1994 all the way to 2001.
Wow.
And in 2001, yes, nearly a decade, I received a call and on my phone, and the people at the manager at Toys R Us called me in 2001, said, "Hey, we're remodeling the store right now, and if you want those statues, I need you to come down and get them right now." So I asked my boss if I could sneak out of work and run over there and pick them up. So I went over there with some moving blankets and I carefully put them into my truck, and I got out of there before they changed their mind.
That's amazing. And they're, at least from here, I think they're looking really good. So were they in like perfect condition? Did you have to do any kind of restoring or anything?
Oh, no, I mean, they're absolutely perfect. And like I said, the perspective here doesn't give it any justice. I mean, he's about 5.5 feet tall. I mean, see,
Yeah.
look at me duck down so you can see. They're very big, and I buried them with plushes. What made it so perfect is when they were on display, they were out of reach always from the little kids' hands, so they couldn't get up there and grab them and destroy them.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's good.
So
That's
I
good.
got very lucky. That location, I've actually seen these, a few of these in other collectors' hands over the years that they started popping up. The arms were either broken off or
Yeah.
his nose was missing, and they've had to take them to like people who work in auto body shops and know how to use Bondo and actually put them back together and repaint them.
Yeah. 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 That's why I was asking, because I've seen those or similar to those, and they're usually in really bad shape. So the fact that you didn't have to really do anything and you just kept them.
Other than just bring them home.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just bring them home. Just leave work a little bit early and go grab them, right?
Yes.
That's
And
amazing. That's amazing.
that's my dedication to this is,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was like I said, it was 10 years of pestering that poor manager. Just, hey, please let me have it if you change your mind.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. And they had your number. See? It worked. It worked. You give them
It
your
worked.
number.
If you couldn't do that,
Remember that guy that's always pestering us? Call him, call
yes.
him.
See, today you could not do this. I would go to every store in the Houston area. I'd go to, back in those days, Target, Sears, Walmart, Montgomery Wards. All of those stores had incredible video game departments with signs and displays, very attractive. And I would ask them, "Can I have that sign when you're done with it? Can I have that
Hmm.
poster?" And if one store said no, well, this was the 90s, so the malls were booming, every store was doing great. If one store said no, I would just make my regular rounds and go to the other stores till some of them said yes.
Yeah.
And that's how I got duplicates and triplicates a lot of these displays,
Hmm.
and it
Awesome.
paid off. But today, you can't. You can't do that anymore. The displays, the departments have disappeared. Games are all turning digital. They're
Yeah.
getting rid of all of the gaming departments in the stores, just like they got rid of they're getting rid of the movies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
finding displays now is nearly impossible without deep pockets.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Thankfully, there's still some merch, and I think Sega have been doing a very good job in terms of like Sonic merch, because it's
Oh my God! You want to hear a story about that? I actually made a meme about it, and it's in my Instagram. During the 90s, Sonic merchandise came out like a trickling, dripping faucet. You might find one item here, and then 6, 8 months later, you'd find one more item here. And it was like that all through the 90s, just one item here, one item there. And then after the Sonic movie came out, it was like a dam burst.
yeah.
It was just, and then today, it's like a tsunami. You can't keep up. It's like every time you go to the store, there's more and more and more. And so yeah, it's been crazy on the wallet trying to keep up with it because I don't miss anything.
Yeah, that I can understand. Yeah, yeah. That's a challenge in itself as well. So organizing and finding things is a challenge, but the real challenge is affording everything, right?
Yes, because there's some stuff that are like relatively inexpensive, like a few little plastic figures here and there, and then there's these high end things they've been making, like the the gold
The
bling
jewelry.
necklaces.
Yeah.
Yes, that's some of that stuff's insane.
Yeah, for sure. For
So
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
when it comes to that stuff, it's like, okay, how can I afford this? Maybe do a PayPal pay in four thing, or you know.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, have you ever been contacted by Sega in any way regarding your
Unfortunately,
collection?
unfortunately, no. Um, it's been like radio silence with them,
Really?
and I don't know why. I don't know. So I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying anything good or bad against them,
Yeah.
but I have had no contact after I got the. One thing good happened after I got the record. I even took it. I framed it in this case right here behind me. I got a response on my Twitter before it turned into X. I got a shout out from Yuji Naka saying congratulations on the Guinness World Record.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
I got that, but that was it.
Nothing else. Have you ever tried to
Nothing.
contact them yourself? No.
I've, but it's been radio silence. I don't get any
Okay.
responses, and I don't know why. So I'm not going to push it. If
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
want to
Sure.
reach out, it's crystal clear. They know who I am. So yes, I'd love to hear from you. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Excellent. So we'll talk a little bit more about this, Barry, about your collection. I have a couple more questions before we wrap things up. But there's something we usually do here on the show, on the Sega Lounge,
All
which
right.
is called the Sega Lounge Challenge.
Now that you know our guests, it's time to put them to the test. It's the moment we've waited for and the moment they dread.
Welcome to your doom.
I mean, welcome to the Sega Lounge Challenge.
Okay. Uh, and the Sega Lounge Challenge is just a little game I like to play with my guests, to see how big of Sega fans they are. They really deserve our own Sega Lounge seal of approval. And I'm sure you're a big Sega fan slash Sonic fan. I'm going to give you an option here, two options actually. I usually do something called the Ultimate Sega Fan Challenge, which is a series of 10 rounds with questions and songs and fun things. I'm going to ask you, do you want to do it Sonic themed only, or do you want to broaden the spectrum a little bit and go Sega?
I would say Sonic because I'm a picky gamer. So if you asked about like a bunch of other Sega games, it's possible I may not know it, and I look like an idiot.
Okay. 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 So, well, let's see. Let's go Sonic. Let's go Sonic. Okay. Sonic and Sonic adjacent, maybe. Okay. So
Okay.
this is how it works. I'm gonna streamline this for you because it's just Sonic. So I'm gonna streamline this. 10 rounds. Each round is worth 2 points. Okay. We have questions that are worth 2 points. We have songs, also worth 2 points. I'll explain when we get there. And we have two special rounds called Back of the Box. So I'll read the description of the back of a box, or maybe the description of the game in digital form. We'll see. And those
Okay.
are worth 2 points as well. So you can get up to 20 points, but 10, I think, is a good number, right? Like in the middle, at least 10. Can we get 10? I think we
Okay.
can.
I
I think
hope.
we can. I think we can.
I hope I don't get nervous and do then a
No, no, no,
fail.
no, no, no need for that. No need for that. You're gonna crush this. Okay, so let's start with an easy question. I think. Okay,
Okay.
so let's go with this one. So you know Sonic the Hedgehog, right?
Of course.
Okay, that's not the question, by the way. That's not the question. The question is, what notable Sonic team member is credited in Sonic the Hedgehog under the moniker YU2? So,
Oh,
if you remember from like the old days, they were not credited as themselves. They were not. They didn't use their names, right? So they had like aliases, like nicknames, and so there's a notable Sonic team member that in the Sonic 1 credits is YU2.
I would be purely guessing because I don't know. If it ain't Yuji, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't know. So if you want to guess, be my guest.
I know. I swear I saw Yuji's name, but I'm going to guess Yuji Naka.
Yuji Naka. So YU2. So U2, in a way, Yuji Naka could be. Final
Yeah, that's
answer.
my guess. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Is that your final answer, Barry?
That's final answer.
Okay. Your answer is correct. Yes, it's Yuji Naka. Well done.
Awesome.
Very good job. Very good job. So that's it. So 2 points. Good job. 2 points here for you. Great start. Next up, we have a song. Okay, so what I'm not going to play the whole song. I'm going to play a 10-second long clip of a Sonic song. So to make it easier, they're all Sonic songs from across the 30 plus years of Sonic.
Oh God.
This is how it's going to work. So you get 1 point for the game. If you can give me the game from where the song is, 1 point. If you can somehow tell me or show me that you know where the song plays in the game, which level, or if it's like in that part of the game, something that shows me that you know what you're talking about, you get an extra point. Okay, so 2
Deal.
points. Deal? Let's take a listen to the first song here. And that's our 10 seconds.
That's Sonic Mania.
That was a really fast answer, a quick answer.
I can't recall the name of the zone. I can't, but I know that's Sonic Mania.
You sound pretty sure of yourself.
Yes. I can't recall the name of the zone. I haven't played that one as much as the other classic games, but I know I have that song on my phone. But no, I can't recall the name of the zone, but I know it's Mania.
So would you like to guess somehow? So game Mania, that's locked in, right? No doubts about it.
Yes.
Okay, so we're locking in the game Mania. What about the song? The where, how,
Zone.
why? Anything. Take a guess. Don't lose any points. What kind of stage does this sound like?
The stage. It sounds like it's print. It was something print. I think it was print press zone, something like that. I think.
Press Garden Zone.
Yes, that's it.
Act 1 or 2, by the way?
That would be 2.
2. Okay. So final answer, Sonic Mania, Press Garden Zone Act 2.
Yes,
Yes?
sir.
Okay. You're really sure of yourself when it comes to the game. So yeah, Sonic Mania, no doubts. Yeah. Is it really Sonic Mania though? It is. It is. It is. It is. Yes. Yes. Is it Press Garden Zone Act 2 though? No, it's not.
It
It's
was the
not.
first.
It's not. It's Mirage Saloon Zone Act 2.
Ah, darn.
Yeah. So that was close, very close, but not really enough for another point. But 1 point, which means you have 3 points so far, Barry, which is amazing. Only 7 left. So let's go with round three, which is another question. Okay. Ready for
right.
another question?
Let's go.
Okay. Let's go with another Sonic question. Where does the story of Sonic CD take place?
The Little Planet.
Okay. I'm just waiting. I'm
sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
here to help.
Oh, yeah. The story of Sonic CD takes place on the Little Planet. He's trying to recapture keep Robotnik from getting the time stones.
So you
And
wanted
that's
to
where,
add more information.
Yes.
Yes.
And you to get the time stones, you have to like go into the special stages and destroy the UFOs to release the time stones. And of course, while you're going through there, you see Amy chasing you around, and Metal Sonic kidnaps her and takes her away. Oh, that was a very good game. I loved it. Fall of '93.
Okay. I mean, yes. I was waiting not for you to give me more information. I was just trying to like add some more suspense to this, like a game show, right? But you're like, I wasn't moving, you weren't moving, I wasn't saying anything, you weren't saying anything. It's like some sort of Sonic showdown here between us. But yeah, yeah. But good job, 2 points, 2 points. You're crushing this. So 5 points overall so far, which means it's time for round 4, another song. Ready? Another 10-second long clip. Ready? No, you're not. Let's take a listen.
Oh, that one sounds like a handheld Sonic game version, and I'm going to flat out tell you that I do not know it.
You can guess, though. It's better than... you don't lose any points, so it's better to guess, maybe, somehow.
I'd say Sonic Advance 2. Emerald Hill Zone. That's just a pure guess, but I know that music sounds like it's a handheld version.
Okay. Final answer?
Final answer.
Final answer. So Sonic Advance 2, Emerald Hill Zone. Let's start with the stage. Is it Emerald Hill? It's not. It's not. No points. No points for that. Is the game Sonic Advance 2, though? Could be. But it's not.
Darn.
It's not. It's actually not a handheld game. It's
not?
Sonic Heroes.
Really?
Yes, it's Stage 5 Casino Park. So,
huh.
No points there, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Well, I always tell people that I love Sonic, but I'm not a wiki. I can't. I don't know everything.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just for fun. It's just for fun. So,
just for fun.
And if we're talking about fun, this is as fun as it gets. It's my favorite game. It's called Back of the Box. Okay, round 5 is Back of the Box. Barry.
All right.
So Back of the Box is exactly what it sounds like. I went through the back of a box of a Sonic game in this case. Actually, the US one which you are more familiar with. And I'm going to read you a redacted version of a description of a Sonic game. Okay? You have to guess the game. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Okay? So listen closely to this poetry. Join the team! Exclamation mark. The world is at its knees, and this time it will take more than the power of one hero to put it right. Join Team Redacted. Team Redacted. Team Redacted. And Team Redacted. In an all-new action blockbuster, as you battle your way through an adrenaline-fueled frenzy of spirals, loops, twists, and turns, while mastering 3 unique hero abilities simultaneously: power, speed, and fly. It's a tough team for a tough job. Any idea of what this could be?
Sonic Mania?
I'll read this one again, okay? Keep thinking. And listen to this carefully. Join the team. The world is at its knees, and this time it will take more than the power of one hero to put it right. Join Team Redacted, Team Redacted, Team Redacted, and Team Redacted. 4 Team Redacteds in an all-new action blockbuster as you battle your way through an adrenaline-fueled frenzy of spirals, loops, twists, and turns while mastering 3 unique hero abilities simultaneously: power, speed, and fly. It's a tough team for a tough job.
I can't think of the name. It's not Sonic Mania. It's the latest Sonic game that came out.
Superstars.
I'm sorry?
Sonic
no, not
Superstars.
Superstars.
No.
The modern Sonic version.
Frontiers.
Frontiers. I believe it's
Sonic
Frontiers.
Frontiers.
Yes. I swear
Okay.
that's what it said on the back of that box. That's my final answer. If that's not it, then I apologize.
So you're saying that in Sonic Frontiers, it says, join the team. The world is at
Yes.
its knees. And what
Yes.
teams would have I redacted here?
Sonic Tails and Knuckles and Shadow. But there's only 3.
No, Sonic,
It's only
Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow, that's 4. But do they all have their teams?
Sonic Heroes. I take it back. Sonic Heroes.
Why?
Because it's Sonic Heroes is 3.
Okay, but I'm saying it's joined. There's team something, team something, team something, team something. So 4 teams. But it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to remember.
Quote unquote help.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna need a guess.
I'm gonna guess Sonic Heroes.
Sonic Heroes. You're gonna stick with the last guess then.
Yeah.
Final answer. I can lock it in then.
Yes. Go ahead.
For glory, for 2 points. So I'm going to read the unredacted version. Join the team. The world is at its knees, and this time it will take more than the power of one hero to put it right. Join Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, and Team Chaotix in an all-new action blockbuster as you battle your way through an adrenaline-fueled frenzy of spirals, loops, twists, and turns while mastering 3 unique hero abilities simultaneously: power, speed, and fly. It's a tough team for a tough job. Your answer, Sonic Heroes, is correct. Yes, it's Sonic Heroes.
I had to really think.
Yes. Team. You had like the 3 characters at once, and yeah. Okay, good job, Barry. 2 points.
Thank you.
That makes it 7. right? 2, 4, 5, 7, exactly. Or we're almost at 10. Let's see what happens next. Next up,
It's
it's a song. Round 6. I think
okay.
you'll appreciate this one.
Hilltop Zone Sonic 2.
So you can say it again so the people can hear it this time.
That's the Hilltop Zone Sonic 2. My friend Manny used to joke about that zone when we were playing it. He says, if you could look off to the side of the screen, there's like a jug band playing.
Yeah, I actually didn't really like this song growing up, I think, when I first played the game. But as time went on, I started appreciating
It grew on you, didn't
yeah,
it?
it grows on you. I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah. 2 points. 2 points. Yes, of course. Of course. This is an easy, very easy one. So 9 points overall. Amazing. Amazing. Time for
Awesome.
another question as round 7, Barry, to keep the momentum going. We're going to make it a little bit harder this time, I think.
Oh, no.
I think. Okay, so this is a classic on the Sega Launch. I haven't asked this in a long time. It's Sonic adjacent. It's Sonic, but maybe not how you
No
expect it. So the question is, in Crusader of Senti, which is a Genesis game, you can find Sonic the Hedgehog at the beach. Did you know that?
I did not.
If you talk to Sonic, he says, and I quote, "I'm a gallant hedgehog. Don't mess or you'll get blank." So fill in the blank, Barry. I'm a gallant hedgehog. Don't mess or you'll get something.
Burned. Burned?
Why?
Because he's fast. I don't know, so that's my best guess.
So this is worth 2 points. Is the answer burned? I'm saying this is worth 2 points because I think you should get more because, yes, this is the first time anyone has ever guessed this correctly ever on the show.
No way.
Yes, don't mess or you'll get burned. Yes, it is the correct answer. Good job. Well
Awesome.
done. Well done. And so that means you have 11 right now. So that's awesome. Amazing. So 11 points overall. But we still have 3 rounds left. So let's see how far you can go, Barry. Final
right.
song. Ready? For a 10-second
Ready.
long clip. Ready? Let's take a listen.
It sounds like a Sonic Generations song, and I don't know the zone. I don't know. I don't know.
So remember, 1 point for the game, 1 point for the zone or stage or part of the game. So
I swear that sounds like Sonic Generations when you're in the lobby area, but that's just a pure guess. That's what it sounds like to me because it's a very familiar sounding theme. Yes.
okay.
So that'll be my final answer.
Okay, great. I like the determination here. So Sonic Generations lobby area. It's not the lobby area.
Darn.
Is it Sonic Generations? No, it's not.
Darn.
It's not. It's actually Sonic Superstars. It's
Darn, I mean,
the first stage, Bridge Island Zone Act 1.
Oh, okay. It sounded very familiar. Very, very familiar.
Probably because you played it recently because the game is recent. So yeah. Okay, no points there, but 2 rounds left.
Okay.
Number 9 is the last back of the box. Okay. So the final back of the box. And I'm going to read you the redacted version of a description. In Redacted, the evil Redacted has conquered much of the world with help from a powerful and mysterious new villain named Infinite. Now you must assist Redacted and build an army to reclaim the world as they fight against chaos and destruction. Defeat enemies with blazing speed as Redacted. Catapult past perilous platforms as Redacted. And create your very own custom hero character, equipped with a variety of powerful gadgets. Experience fast-paced action with these 3 unique gameplay styles, explore iconic stages, plus fight across unique added content with Redacted as a playable character. And the tagline is, "Join the uprising."
That is Sonic Forces.
Why?
I remember. I swear, I remember that when they were when that was being announced at the 25th anniversary party back in 2016. Then when they introduced Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania, I swear that was the description, and they were announcing it on the screen and actually reading that out loud. They showed a preview clip. I swear that's what it is. If I'm wrong, again, I'm sorry.
Okay, for glory. Sonic Forces is your final answer. Yes?
Yes, sir.
So I'll leave this till the end. The evil Dr. Eggman has conquered much of the world with help from a powerful and mysterious new villain named Infinite. Now you must assist Sonic and build an army to reclaim the world as they fight against chaos and destruction. Defeat enemies with blazing speed as modern Sonic. Catapult past perilous platforms as classic Sonic. And create your very own custom hero character, equipped with a variety of powerful gadgets. Experience fast-paced action with these 3 unique gameplay styles, explore iconic stages, plus fight across unique added content with Shadow as a playable character. Join the uprising. Is Sonic Forces the correct answer? Yes! Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Good job. 2 points.
Thank you.
And that makes it 13, which leads us to our final question. Final round, number 10, final question. So, this is your final question, Barry. Ready?
Ready.
Barry Evans, Sonic 1992, for glory. I want to know, what is Sonic the Hedgehog's height? I have options, but my options are in centimeters and inches.
Oh.
Okay. So, is it option A, 80 centimeters, around 31.5 inches? Option B, 90 centimeters, around 35.4 inches? Or option C, 100 centimeters, around 39.4 inches?
The last one.
100. Do you want to go measure the statue behind you to see if it...
Yeah, that's cheating.
Is it actually I wonder if there's like there are some guidelines from Sega.
He's actually sitting on a platform about this high off the ground, so I'd say that's pretty life-size proportionate.
I would say so. If yeah.
If
So
I
your
was to
answer,
guess right there,
you're saying that that Sonic statue is 100 centimeters or 39.4 inches tall.
let's hear. Yeah. I would say yes. The last one, your tallest option, I think is the right
The
one.
tallest
Otherwise, he'd be way
option.
too small. Uh, Otherwise, he'd look like one of these plushies. That'd be my best guess. Is the tallest option that you gave.
Okay, so 100 centimeters, 39.4 inches tall is correct. Yes, well done. Well done. It looks like it. Like if judging from what you're saying, yeah, probably that's a life-sized version of Sonic. I wonder if there are some kind of guidelines from Sega. Like if you want to make a statue, you have to make it like this tall. Maybe.
Well, they do. I've seen in someone else's collection. There's actually a book, and I wish I could get my own copy of it too. Um, there's like pick when they want if a toy company or something wants to make Sonic, they actually have like poses and his appearance and what he's supposed to look like,
Yeah. Yeah.
accurate descriptions and dimensions. Now, of
That
course,
that
Sonic
that
has
I
changed
know.
over the years.
That I know. That I know. I just wonder if they were that particular and meticulous back in the day for those statues. Maybe they were.
I think they were.
Maybe they were.
The details impeccable.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the correct answer. That means you end this Sega Lounge challenge with I think it's 15, but let me just check. 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. 15 points, which is amazing. Well done. Very good job.
Thank you.
And that means you do actually get the Sega Launch seal of approval, which I will send to you after we're done. So,
Thank you so much.
no, thank you for being such a good sport and playing the game.
Oh, I loved it. I enjoy every bit of this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. So before we go, Barry, a couple of questions still regarding your collection. So if you like hard questions, maybe if you had to pick one item in your collection as your favorite, would you be able
Oh.
to? Okay.
They're right there.
Really?
Sonic and Tail statues. Those are my
Okay.
most favorites.
Okay.
They are.
Okay.
They were my dream for a decade, and I never thought I would get them. So that will always be my answer. I love everything in here, and like I said, I can carry the camera around and show you items if you want to see them. I have all there's those are my top favorite. But I mean, there's more that people would say, "Boy, how do you like that when you don't like the original Sonic the Hedgehog guitar?" That's an
Yeah.
amazing item.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's the guitar that was made in Japan after the Crush 40.
Mm-hmm.
The original the Sonic limited statue from First Four Figures that was given out as a promotional item. I can go on and on.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
yeah, there's a lot of things I could say that's my absolute favorite.
What's the weirdest thing you have in your collection?
Well, I can hear it. Let me grab the camera and carry it around so I can show you. Let's hear. One of the weirdest things is right there. Right there. See, that's a pink girl's thong from Japan.
Okay. The one in the frame up there?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to display it, so I just put it in a frame and you can see Sonic right there at the top. It's unofficial, of course.
I mean, I don't know. They make some pretty weird stuff in Japan, so I don't know.
Yeah, and this everybody knows Sonic. You know Sonic, right?
Yeah, Sonic, of course.
Here's a custom made Sonic plush. Sorry, I'm trying to get it right with the camera. There you go.
Sonic. There you go. So people watching this and listening to us, Barry, how can they? Obviously, everything will be in the show notes and people will get the links. But how can people get in touch? How can people like follow you? What kind of content do you post as well?
Every time I try not to be I'm not one of those people that post 10,000 things a day. I try to post when I find a new item. I try to post it and so I can say, "Hey, I found this awesome new Sonic item," and people actually enjoy seeing that. And when we go on trips or visit new places, this is my traveling buddy, traveling Sonic. He goes with us everywhere. He's even been to Jamaica. That's why he's got that little that Jamaican style cap on,
Great.
and he's got his little cruising shoes right there.
Great
So
stuff.
we anytime I do
Hmm.
anything Sonic, I post it. Go to places that do Sonic, I post it. So yeah, I'm all about Sonic and having fun with it and finding anything Sonic. So yeah, that's what you expect to find from me. Just like last weekend, I went and skated with Sonic and took a picture.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome.
I took
Awesome
my
stuff.
certificate over there so they could see.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. That's amazing. So do check out Barry over on Instagram and all the socials for sure. I have one final question for you, Barry, which is the same question that I ask everyone. I've been asking for 10 years now, which is, and are you familiar with blast processing?
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Welcome
Who
to the next
isn't?
level.
Exactly, exactly. So, if you could add blast processing to anything in the world, what would it be and why?
Ah, that's a tough question.
The
Uh,
toughest.
uh, Maybe blast process more money into my bank account so I can make this room bigger.
There you go.
uh,
Or even like the construction methods, so that you could have like an expandable building, maybe, right?
well, what
So anytime you need more room, you just like push a button and zzz, increase the
well,
space.
I can tell you that's what I swear. I know it's kind of a goofy answer, but I mean, if I've been when we built this room in 2007, I've had to learn how to work with the space and
Hmm.
maximize it. If I had the means to be able to do it, I would love to pack up everything and take it out and tear it down and start over. And it would be 100 times better because what I would do is I would make it like a real museum. The first
Hmm.
thing you do is you'd walk in and you would see the actual arcade sign that from the arcade I grew up as a kid. You go in and you see all the arcade games and play them, and then when you got through with that, you go out the other set of doors on the other side and you would pour into the museum. That's what I would do.
Hmm. So
So I figured out
that's
how to
like the
maximize the
dream,
space.
right? That's the dream to
Yes,
turn that into like a museum, a sonic museum,
yes,
right?
because I would like to be able to have people be able to come and visit it
Yeah.
and be more open and free. Because right now I have so much stuff hidden away that I can't display it. I did try doing a GoFundMe years ago, and it was a disaster because people were making snide comments about no one's going to give you money for your collection. And then, I mean, but I thought, well, heck, y'all are giving out money to strangers so they can get larger boobs. So I thought, what would be the harm in this? So it did. Nobody. I said, I even said in there, if anybody sends anything, great. If nobody sends anything, then fine. But
Hmm.
I did try that when GoFundMe first started because I thought, hey, maybe someone would want to do it. But yeah, it's the dream. I mean, I'm living the
Hmm.
dream now, and I'm enjoying it. And but of course, I would love to be able to keep improving on it. That's the
Hmm.
fun of it.
Hmm.
And to improve on it needs to be bigger.
Yeah.
But to make it bigger, it needs to be more thoroughly insulated, higher efficiency air conditioning and heating to keep it from being more of an electric bill burden.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. So it had to be like something built from the ground up to prepared for all of that, those
Yes,
instances.
and
Yeah. Makes sense.
and the second thing is for it to be nondescript because we live in a crazy world now where people break in and do things like that. On the outside, just like now, it looks like just a regular metal shop. Nobody would ever
Hmm.
know what's in here.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. All right. Barry, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's been such a joy to be able to meet you and talk to you. It's thank you so much for the guided tour around your
Oh,
collection. Yeah.
you're welcome. I mean, if there's anything else you want to know or see, please ask. I mean,
Oh.
I love telling. I know you can't do for hours, but just I appreciate it.
I'm sure you'll have to come back at some point and talk a little bit. Give us an update. We should do this like an yearly update on things that you pick up and weird things that you get. And
Well,
we'll
let me put it this way. Right now, I used to have several cases of other items like the Pac-Man and Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. I had to make the decision to pack it up and put it away for now, so I
Mm,
can make room for the expanding Sonic. And
okay.
I'm fixing to have to do that on the other side with my Mario case, because until I can expand, I don't want to be packing away the new Sonic items I find. So I'm gonna have to make the sacrifice to pack a few items up and put them away for now, so I
Mhm.
can keep expanding on my Sonic.
Okay. So lots more content to come, I'm sure, because Sega have been firing on all cylinders in terms of merch. And the
Oh,
movie is coming out, the new game, Sonic X Shadow Generation. So there's a lot of stuff coming. So
not to mention the clothing. The clothing is the worst
yeah.
because it's almost impossible to display. I have like two or three 55-gallon totes stuffed to the max with clothing, jackets, shirts,
Yeah.
swimwear. Um, so to display that, you need like a really long curtain rod to put
Hmm.
it all on.
Hmm.
And so there's no space for that right now. So it's put away until I can figure something out.
Yeah. All right, Barry, thank you very much. It's been a
Oh,
pleasure. And as I said, let's do this again sometime and an update on your collection. Okay.
oh yeah, definitely. Thank you.
And all the
Just let me
best.
know.
Yeah, all the best for your endeavors and keep having fun because that's what I really enjoyed about this is you're doing this but you're having fun. So please be sure to keep having fun.
You bet. It's all about the fun and it's all about the memories behind the games.
So true. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
A big thanks to Barry Evans for joining me and sharing his love for Sonic merch with all of us. Due to the audio nature of this episode, I had to cut some content that would make no sense for listeners. But I'll be adding that extra content to our YouTube channel. Basically, it's a short guided tour of Barry's personal collection, including some trivia about certain items. So be sure to check it out over at youtube.com/@the-SEGA-Lounge. youtube.com/@the-SEGA-Lounge. The video will be up a couple of days after the episode goes live, and while you're there, please consider subscribing to the channel. And that's it for this episode of the SEGA Lounge. I hope you had as much fun listening as I had recording this show. Have a great week, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. The SEGA Lounge, hosted by me, KC, and part of Radio Sega's network of live shows and podcasts. Theme song and incidental music by OSC. Got any suggestions? Drop me an email to podcast@thesegalounge.com. Find us at The Sega Lounge on X, Twitter, and Instagram, at thesegalounge.com on Blue Sky, and be sure to check out our Twitch and YouTube channel for live video content. You can find previous episodes of the show by going to thesegalounge.com, on the Terra Player app, and wherever you listen to podcasts. A Mixed On Productions podcast.